Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. And I'm up with a Panalisa project share today, but also before I get into that, let's talk about the Christmas giveaway. Right, I'm giving away goodies in a box. It's going to be a surprise box giveaway. I will tell you that. You won't know what's going in that box, but I can tell you this giveaway is totally worth it for me as well. Right, what have you got to do? First of all, you have to be subscribed to my channel. Now, I can tell you that in YouTube, if you go into your own private console, you can see who is subscribed and who is not. So I will know if you are subscribed or not. So that is rule number one. Rule number one, you must be subscribed. Now, what you have to do for the giveaway is really, really easy. All you have to do is a VR telling me what you love about Christmas. It can be as long or as short as you want it to be. When you've done it, if you don't think I've seen it, come and let me know on any video that I put up between now and the end of November. So it ends on the last day of November. So you've got how many days in November? 20. I think there's 21 left. You got 3 weeks. Yes, you do. You got 3 weeks to do a VR. You can make something and share it if you want to. You don't have to. But all you have to do is tell me what you love about Christmas. Right. So that was the easy bit out of the way. The next bit, you know, we had a tropical storm. So I haven't made much, although I did make. Most of it was spent running around the garden trying to catch things. But I do have a small personal haul to share, so that's kind of going to make up for it. And then I will, of course, be back on Monday with more Panalisa. Right, so the project. Murmur. Somebody said that murmur was French for murmur. So that is the pack that I've used today, and that one is the 8x8. It's 160 GSM. I have also used the junk journal ephemera, and these are thick. They are, I would say, the double thickness of cereal box. So they're lovely and thick. Now, I haven't got a clue what they are. It just says vintage collard sheets, junk journal ephemera, and there isn't a particular name for this, but I will link it, and I believe these are all in Panalisa's new release anyway. So I've used a few of those, and then by request, and there's still a couple of bits I think I need to poke out on this one. People wanted to see this one cut out. Now, it's huge, and I did measure it in the haul video, and I'm going to measure it again in a second. But it's so big and so lovely, I thought it would make a great book cover. So that's basically what I've created today. But of course you can use it as a card. But I think the important thing is that what people wanted, I've got Panalisa's name upside down there. I don't like to do that. Is to see that it cuts out, and it does. I went back and I went forth, and the whole thing cut out. The next thing that I've done is the envelope, because I just thought it would be something nice that would kind of like match in with that one. Right, so first up, I did the envelopes, and I stuck 2 together, and there's one that I haven't because I want to show you something. So I did it in black, which is never really a good colour to use on camera. There we go. So it's a really sweet envelope, and it's very grey and cloudy today. And I also cut one using the murmur paper so that you can see that. Just really sweet. Absolutely love it. And then I cut one in craft cardstock because I wanted to show you. You can, if you want to, glue the small flap down, and if you've got chunkier things in there and you need to be able to, you know, just take them out, you can glue it that way and have that as your flap. So you've got a bigger flap at the front, or of course the way that I've done it, and that is with the big flap there and then your smaller flap coming down. But it's really lovely, and you can see that it folds, it scores. This is a heavyweight cardstock. That's a middling cardstock. I think that's 300 GSM. down to 200 GSM, down to 160 GSM. So you can see through all those weights, it just works beautifully. But you can have the big flap or the small flap. And I do quite like it actually with the big flap, because I know that like that I could put like little Ziploc bags with my garden seeds in there, and I'd be able to see them and get them out and write a nice big scrawl along it. Right, so that's the first one, and I'm going to measure. I'm trying not to forget. So when it's made up, your size is 3 1/4 by 3. Oh, let's get that. By 3 5/16. So it's just fractionally wider on the width of it. But isn't that sweet? If you've got half a dozen little cards that you're doing for Christmas and you just want to have a little envelope, just beautiful. But perfect for doing your mini albums. Right, next up is one everybody wanted to see. I've got hiccups now. Yeah, you have to excuse me. Right, and it's this one. So I cut mine in black. Oh, yeah, camera's going horrible. And I used a bit of my gilding polish, which is the Cosmic Shimmer. You know, it's the stuff you have on your table for 5 years and you just use it occasionally. But I popped it onto there. But as you can see, the whole thing does cut out. Now, what you've got to remember, when I say cut out, it cuts in. So you've got to cut your cardstock, lay your die on, and all of this pops out and you're left with whatever size border you put. Now, this is 5 1/4. I'm going to turn that around, by 7 1/4. That's the size of the book cover that I made. And there is that chunky ephemera, and I just went around it with a little bit of black soot, and I've got the label seeds that I took out of the package. But I just think that's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if my camera's going to be good. There we go. So as a card or as a book cover, it's just wonderful. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to measure my border. I'm going to measure the cut design. Right, that is 6 7/8. So you can see it is big. And then we are going to 4 and, let's get that correct, 4 7/8. So it is huge, you know, it's one of those huge ones. And I apologise for my camera once again. Right, now onto my personal haul, because I'd only done those. And this is my first bit, and all from the same seller. These are from Mango Store, and it's a set of stamps. I'm going to put my hand under there. I should have a sheet of white cardstock on my table. In fact, I probably have. I'm just going to grab one. I've printed on the back of this, but you can see he's a snowman with the candy cane. And then he's getting up to all sorts of stuff. It's the same character done in different ways. Really lovely. And I bought the matching dies. And we will be doing this probably on Friday next week. And also the Merry Christmas. If you remember in my last haul, I got a similar one, but it said Let It Snow. So, and I think that also came from Mango Store. But that's my first bit. And then I'm taking stuff out of an envelope now. These are absolutely stunning. I probably don't need that for the moment. And I got this one, which is a pine branch, and there are 3 in there. Look at how wispy they are. And as I said, I will be using these on Friday next week. I've got a little house set, which is really sweet. I am big on little houses. There's just something about a house. I don't know what it is. I'm just a collector of dies. And then I've got this gorgeous little deer set. Look at how sweet that is. You can cut all 3 in a different pastel or something. Just really cute. So I've got that set of 3 deers, and this is fabulous. Look at that. I've got the teapot and the matching cups. I mean, that's something, obviously that's going to emboss, but, you know, you could run your little gold bits and what have you along there. Do it in a lovely china blue or a robin egg blue. So those are the really pretty porcelain teacup set. And then, if I reach across, I've got another envelope of goodies. I'm just going to pour these out. And these are absolutely stunning. What more can I say? Look at the size of that page tab. It's a page tab or it's a bag topper. Something just to seal the top of a slim bag. But I will measure that actually because it is big. And some people might get it and think, oh my goodness me, you know. That's 2 5/8. And then to its fold line, it is 2 7/16. That's how big it is folded. But isn't that gorgeous? I mean, it's a page tab, it's a bag topper. It can be whatever you want, really. I mean, you can put those inside of pages and use them to attach other things to. The world is your oyster when you've got a handful of dies. And then this really sweet star bag topper, which I think is probably the same. No, it's just a fraction smaller, look. But isn't that cute? I mean, Christmas and birthdays. Stars are fabulous all the time. And then I've got this gorgeous Christmas frame that cuts this bit out but cuts that bit in. So you've got the snowfall going all the way down. And then you've got the little deer that will pop out in the background. So if you cut it a couple of times, you've got 2 different colours. And then this here says Winter Wonderland. And this bit here says Baby, it's cold outside. And then you've got Let It Snow on the edge of this frame. And that all embosses in. Like I said, I do apologise for my camera. And then I have another bag topper page tab. Well, you've got the element that's cut out here. So, you know, handling it would be a lot easier. It's just really lovely. But you can imagine that on a huge, if you do a huge file folder, which I enjoy doing, and you can add an image into there and flap it over, and it's going to be quite large. I'm losing my voice, aren't I? And then I have the Christmas frame. So you've got the X and then you've got the mass, which is Christmas. And that says very merry and happy jolly. And then you've got a little bow here. And then you've got Christmas there again. And I'm trying to think what that says. I'm not sure. It might say laugh, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. I'd have to cut that one out to see. But it's just really lovely. Really unusual. Because you've got all those dots. And of course it's based on a Polaroid frame. Love it. And then the next one I got myself was the file holder. Not a file holder. What's it called? Ooh, I can't think of it. But you know me, I put them on the edges of pages and then you can put book rings. You just, you know, glue it down and fold it in half. Yeah, I don't know where my brain's wandering off to. It's probably because I lost my Poe the Crow. Poe the Crow blew away in the wind. And the bottom of my my wind chime. I've got to go digging around in one of my raised beds and find it. So that is the star file hanger. That's the word I'm looking for. Yes. So there you go. Just wonderful. And I'll measure that. That is 5 3/4. So, you know, the project that you're putting on there can be smaller and you can cut it down, or it can be larger and hang over the edges. It really doesn't matter with something like that. And then I've got another bag topper, which is a little snowy one. And of course the handle pops up when you fold that piece over. So you've got the score line here. And I do have a close look there. You can tell by the height what is a cut line and what is a score line. See that? That's a cut line, that's a score line. I always feel everything to make sure that it's accurate. And as you can see, the score line is below the cut line. It's always a good thing to look for on images because sometimes people get it wrong. And that one is the bow bag topper. Isn't that absolutely divine? All that stitching. And of course you can trim it off here if you want to, and have a bow to put on a card, or just to double up your bows on your bag topper. And that's another lovely size. And then next up I have a sort of mini slimline ticket set, which has got the labels and what have you in there. But we've got the number 24 for Christmas, and along here it says Merry Christmas time. And there's all sorts of Christmas words and stuff going on. But you've got the little embossed area there for the Christmas tree. And then that says Christmas with the little sort of like starry asterisks in between. So that's another gorgeous set. And it leaves an embossed aperture because this is the bit that cuts out. Just gorgeous. I'll do a measure of that. Let's do the cut line for the bit that cuts out. And that is at 7 inches for the inner piece. But if you're going for a piece of cardstock, that is 7.5 inches. So you're going to need 7 3/4 to 8 inches to cut that. So it's going to go into a full-size slim line. That's really lovely. And then last but not least, going back into the stars again, and that is a starry film strip, which is absolutely wonderful. You've got the Christmas border going around here again. You've got Navidad. I can't actually read that one. I think that's in German. So you've got different languages. You've got Noel on that bit there. But whereas the frame is obviously Christmas, this bit that pops out, the star film strip, hasn't got any writing on it at all. So that can be used all year round and look great on a birthday card. Really bright primary colours or something. Really love that. And I will do a measurement of that one. And I'll do it inside of the cut lines. 7 inches. And then the width on that is 2 1/4 inches. But then if you're cutting into, which is the outside edge, you are at 2 13/16. That sounds very confusing, doesn't it? So basically you're going to need a card, if I move that along there, that is 3 1/4 inches. So you want to cut that into 3 1/4 inch wide. I just love it. And as I said, I do apologise for the lighting, but I thank you so much for joining me today. I really do. Don't forget that Christmas giveaway. Just do your VR. Tell me what you love about Christmas. It can be as long or as short as you want. You can make a card and show it if you want to, but just make sure you're copying it back to me and that you are subscribed to my channel. Have an absolutely awesome weekend. As usual, all links below. Bye.